So what we're going to do today is we're going to go into the Filipino, have the concept known as defending the snake, and we're going to address that in the Panantukan system, which is the Filipino boxing. Now what happens is, the partner starts off with a jab cross feet. Just get used to parry, just to get used to the feel of that. You know, that's in the basic section, so you can always check that out too. Now what we're going to start introducing is the elbow destructions today. There's 4 of these in these gun lines. So the first one is I'm hitting it with the vertical gun this way. Now what you're doing is you're actually just guiding the hand right to your elbow, and you're letting it run into it. What this will do is actually it has a chance of breaking his hand. You cannot do this in most forms of competition, but in all honesty, it happens a lot. So it's just a part of a good technique to have. This is happening at UFC events, things like that. Guys throwing a punch at the guy, get his hand broken process. It hurts when you throw that punch after that. So this is the first one. So we're going to slow it down. This is a vertical gun. So come here, I parry here, my hand comes up this way, my elbow guides it right to there, or my hand guides it right to the elbow, and that's a smash there. Now what you're going to try to do is, this is a bigger knuckle joint, breaking smaller knuckle joint, so it works great. So it's parry, guiding to my elbow. Now what you don't want to do is bring your elbow out, because when 2 trainers are traveling like that, it's easy to miss it, so I just let it come to me. Your partner's job is to feed your chin, your job is to guide it to the target, and that's what's going to be there. Now we're going to go to the second one, which is the horizontal. So we're here, I parry, I guide it to my elbow in the horizontal position here. And that's what you have going on here. It's the same guiding motion. Works good like this. So I parry it, I guide it to my elbow. My partner's job is to feed it my chin, and I do the work. And you notice we keep this nice and soft and relaxed. My partner has actually a loose hand grip right now, because like my daughter was 10 years old, she almost broke my hand with this technique, and just because she got it, right? And that's all it is. So that's what I think about that. So next we go into the next one, which is the diagonal upwards elbow. So it comes in here, I parry, I come to the diagonal upwards this way to smack it that way. It's very similar to how the Thais throw their elbows upwards at the diagonal. It's very similar to that motion there. So it just comes up, and it's the same thing. I'm guiding it to my elbow and letting my hand do all the work. And that's what you're seeing there on the diagonal upwards that way. Now, of course, we have diagonal down the other way. Now, a lot of times people throw this here. Sometimes they try to have their uppercut up here, and it kind of gets stuck. What I prefer to do is when it comes in, I lift my elbow up and I throw it underneath my own arm, similar to how the Thai does their elbow again. It's a pretty good way of looking at it. So if I'm at this angle here, I throw this way on that technique. So I parry, I hit there. This is the least common one to be used, in my opinion. Actually, second to least, and I'll show you why in a minute. But on the 4 elbows, this is the least common one. But it's good to know, just because if I'm caught in a weird position, I can throw it from any angle. It's what you really want to be able to do. So again, parry into the chin, I do all the work. And that's what you got going on. So now, why I said there's one that's a little more uncomfortable. This is the elbows, that's the 4 there. There's also a version of this with the shoulder check in here. And I personally don't like this thing here. I prefer my old crap technique. But you got to know it exists at least. And this is what I use for like the sucker punches coming in sometimes. I'm caught in a really weird position. Now what happens is, the jab cross comes in, I'm actually going to use the corner of my shoulder here to hit it. The key to this technique is, I don't want to bring it straight here and hit right into the deltoids. That's just going to cause me a lot of damage or hit the bicep. So I really want to tip it here and get my shoulder involved to deal with that damage that way. Now why I say this is my least favorite technique is because you eat damage on this technique. You're going to get hurt. I call it a little crap move for that reason. It's like, I don't want anything, oh crap, it's coming, I got to deal with this, I'm going to try to hurt it at least. But you're going to get hurt in the process. You take damage as well. So hopefully you break the hand or hurt it. You know, give him bend his wrist a little bit, mess it up, great, no problem, but you have to look out for yourself in this technique too. That's why it's the least favorite. I like to use it for that reason. So one more time, boom. I guide it to my shoulder. You notice here I try to bring my hand down and my shoulder forward. And it just takes a while to get used to because it's a weird technique to begin with. But that's what we're going into. So now we're going to switch sides and show you all 5 again. So here is the jab cross comes. I parry, I hit here with the vertical elbow. It's coming straight up at it. Now I have it again, but I'm going to do it with the horizontal elbow. Catch it here. You notice that my partner's got a very loose grip to protect his hand, and I'm feeding very softly as well to protect him. Then we have the diagonal upwards. And then we have the diagonal downwards. And let's just see the different positions in these techniques. Then we have my least favorite, the old crap move, which is to the shoulder check. I'm basically trying to do a gun with the shoulder, which is not my ideal position or technique. But if I got surprised, he threw in the haymaker at me. I was like, oh my gosh, boom! I'm trying to take that shot there to go into the next entry, and that's where you're going to see that.